Well, hello to my U.S. government class. It is Miss Anderson coming to you, haunting you from my day working on curriculum to give you guys a little video instruction. So, as you guys already know, Gov is kind of an unusual class, and it's one of those classes where we can't stop for a day when I have to take a day off to go do something else. So, on occasion, when I have to be gone, I will leave you guys a little video. So, here I am on Saturday in my Saturday outfit telling you guys about Gov class on Monday. I know it's a little bit strange, but hopefully you'll get accustomed to it, and maybe you might even like video Miss Anderson better than real Miss Anderson. So we'll see. We'll talk. Um, so I want to just go over some stuff with you guys. I know that, first of all, let's make sure that we are honoring the wonderful work of our chairs that the chairs have done. So I'm going to tell you guys to make sure that you are honoring and applauding their hard work. So thank you very much for that. Let's take an awkward pause here to applaud for your chairs who are leading you. Congratulations. So thank you to them for doing that. And also, I want to talk to you guys about the stuff that they talked about in the agenda. So they just went through the agenda with you. Hopefully you just got some information from the rules reps about what's coming up in US Gov over the next couple of weeks. So I just want to make sure that I have stuff clarified, and so that as you move forward today, you guys have all the information that you need. Okay, so I have here in front of me the agenda, which you guys just were looking at. There it is, the agenda. Here we are, Miss Anderson's video. Okay, so we're about to embark on new business, but I just want to make sure that if there are any kids, and I know the rules rep already went over this, but if there are any kids who are declaring their candidacy, I need you to take as seriously as possible the idea that getting those signatures done today, or at the very least tomorrow, is going to be really, really critical. And also for the rest of you, that you are taking seriously the signing up of those on those petitions, because this is a really big moment for people who are running for those candidate positions, because there are only a certain number of signatures that you can actually get, and so we all need to be really respectful of their need to get those signatures by taking that seriously, and making sure that you're only signing one person's petition for each position, so that the rules committee doesn't end up with a big mess on their hand and having to nullify a whole bunch of signatures. Okay, so I'm looking at this. So the rules committee rep just went through that. Also, we haven't gotten a chance to talk since the issue declaration day, so I'll talk to you guys about that obviously when I come back on Wednesday. But it was an incredible day. I can't even believe some of you crazy people that showed up. I don't even want to mention how early you guys got here, because it was ridiculous, crazy, intense. But it also, I think, speaks to how exciting and this semester is going to be, because if you guys are that excited about issue deck day, wait till committee hearing, wait till full session. It's going to be, I mean, it's exciting for me as a teacher to see you guys really getting into it, and it makes the whole semester all that much more fun. And for those people who lined up really early, Logan Clark, and didn't get their issues, I apologize. Today, hopefully, you will still get into a group where you really enjoy the work that you're going to be doing on your bill writing. So we'll talk more about issue deck day on Wednesday when I come back. So, and I have some pictures I can show you, and we'll kind of talk about all that. We also, just one thing on that, we did send pictures to the school district to see if we could get you on the school webpage. So check the school webpage and see if your picture is up there. So you can tell your parents you got on the school webpage for your Gov class. Okay, so new business. You guys are going to get in just a couple of minutes when I'm done talking. You're going to get into your caucuses. You have 2 caucus leaders. In first block, the caucus leaders are Gabe and Representative Kerrigan, right? No. Well, I can't remember. Who's the Republican caucus leader in first block? Well, it doesn't matter. The the caucus leaders. You have your Democratic caucus and you have your Republican caucus. So you're going to get into groups, and those two individuals are going to run your caucuses. So make sure that you are following their lead, because their leadership is really important from this step forward. And if you are part of their team and working together as a group, then it'll make it a lot more successful, the next steps you have to go through. You guys as a group have to make sure you're looking at the issues that you guys declared. First block, by the way, was the first block to close. You guys closed out those issues. People were in really early, and that is really exciting, which is the reason why people like Logan didn't get their issues, because even though they were so early in line, so many other people from first block were already in line that they actually didn't get them. And then third block was also, I think third block was the third class that actually closed out their issues. So you guys were really aggressive and really on top of your game, so way to go. So now you need to get into your caucuses and decide if you have actually identified all of the issues that you want. Remember that only about half of these issues maybe are going to move on to an actual bill writing process. So even if you have identified an issue that you really love, if you can't complete these next steps, which include convincing people to join your issue group, then that issue won't move forward. For the Republicans and the Democrats both, you need to make sure there's a balance of Republican bills and issue bills and Democratic issues in your class. What that means is that the Republican and Democratic caucus leaders are going to need to talk to each other and coordinate. I mean, if you guys only have 9 Republicans in your caucus or 8 Republicans in your caucus, but you have, 7 topics for your Republican caucus to put forward as an issue group, that might be too many. And vice versa for the Democrats. If the Democrats, have 20 members of their caucus and they have 17, well, you wouldn't be able to have 17, but even 10 issue groups, then that means that there aren't enough Republican bills. So you need to have some balance in your class. So I'm going to ask the Republican caucus chair and the Democratic caucus chair to make sure in this next step when you're caucusing that you guys take a few minutes while people are talking to kind of make sure you have some balance. Weed out your issues. See if there are any issues that people are no longer interested in. Make sure that if you're the Republican caucus and you don't have enough issues, that you've sort of picked up a couple of issues. Any issues that you wish to abandon, so let's say that somebody wants to abandon an issue, those immediately get posted back in the Gov Room on the wall under orphaned bills. So if someone put forward a bill topic, like an issue topic on Friday for like a mandatory sterilization of cats, okay, that's like my standard example. Okay, so somebody put that issue forward, but today in the light of Monday morning, they're like, I don't think I want to work on mandatory sterilization of cats. That's fine. You can switch your issue at this point, but it cannot be an issue that anybody else has already declared, and you guys should have copies of those issues in class that your rules committee rep can hand out to you. And B, it needs to be one that your caucus, if you're switching, to it, your caucus leader has to be in the loop about it. They don't have to approve it. You don't have to get their permission, but they need to at least be in the loop about it. And also then you need to immediately take that blue slip of paper, that issue declaration form, and tack it up in the Gov Room so that if somebody in a different class wants to do the mandatory sterilization of cats, they can grab that one. Okay, so that's the first thing to do in your caucus groups. Reviewing those bills, looking to make sure you have all the bill groups, and then making sure that everybody has a partner. So everybody in class should have a partner. If you have an odd number of people, then your caucuses need to decide if they're going to have a person working alone on an issue to pitch that issue, or if they're going to have a group of 3. I would rather have you working alone to pitch an issue than working in a group of 3, because a group of 3 basically means that only one other person could join that issue group, and that isn't really the point. The point is to have as many possible topics for people to look at as possible. Okay, so once you're in your pairs, and those pairs should be the issue sponsors, the same pairs that you kind of looked at in your last class. So those should probably be already established, but there could be some switching, under certain circumstances. Again, caucus leaders, this is where you guys are coming into play today, making sure you're watching and leading that whole process of everybody having a partner. Okay, then you and your partner in your issue group, you're going to begin to develop your pitch. Remember that the purpose is to convince 2 other people to join your group. You want your issue to become a bill. Those bills will be written in bill groups. You and your issue partner need to work on a pitch to convince 2 other people to join, to leave their issue. They got up early in the morning possibly to stand in line. You got to convince them to leave their issue group and join your issue group. So there is a handout that you guys are going to get. Your caucus leaders will each give you guys a handout which is going to take you through a series of questions and activities that you're going to do to build those pitches. And you're going to need to clarify what is the topic. You're going to need to answer some questions about what you think possible solutions are to the issue that you've identified. And also, why do you think these issues are important? Like, what is it that makes your issue really important? You're going to make a little poster that you're going to hang up in class on Wednesday when we get back together. And then you are going to stand up and make a 30-second pitch. It's called like an elevator pitch, they call it in marketing. If you only had an elevator ride to pitch your idea, to convince somebody to buy into your idea, what would you say? So you're going to have about 30 seconds. After everybody has pitched all of their issues, then people will be allowed to sign up for issue groups. And on Wednesday, that's when we do that. You're not doing that today. Just to be clear, nobody is signing up for or committing to any bill writing or issue group today. Even if you pitch an idea today, or I'm sorry, excuse me, even if you work in an issue pitch group today, you might not end up actually writing a bill on that issue. You might end up, many of you frankly, will end up writing your bills in a different group because we have to end up with groups of 4. So about half of you will end up actually abandoning the issue that you're looking at. Maybe because there's a different issue you're more interested in. Maybe because you couldn't find enough people to actually get passionate about mandatory cat sterilization. Whatever the reason, that's the whole point of this process, is to kind of narrow it down. So we start out with this big field of issues, and then we just narrow it and narrow it and narrow it. So on Wednesday, you guys are going to be by the middle of class, you're going to know what your bill topic is. So it's kind of exciting. It's going to happen really, really fast. So just be aware that that's what's coming. So you guys have however much time your caucus leaders deem you to need, and however much time the sub or Miss Brown deems you to need for this next process, steps in the process. If you're using all of this time, as far as I'm concerned, you guys can have the rest of class to work on these pitches, to work in your caucuses, to identify these issues, and it might take some of you that much time to do it. However, if people are done, then what your caucus leaders are going to do, what the chair is going to do, is the chair is going to actually introduce the DREAM Act to you guys, which is a bill that you can then debate, and your chair will actually chair a debate on the DREAM Act today in class. So that would be the next thing. Okay, before I go, I'm going to just say one other thing and just go over homework and make sure you understand homework. In our next class, right at the beginning of class, you need to come in prepared with your pitch. You and your partner need to decide what's going to be said, who's going to say it, all that stuff, okay? So bring your poster in, and there should be paper and markers and tape that you guys can use to create those posters. The other thing is, if you're running for election, good luck. I'm excited for you. I really want the Speaker of the House to come out of my class this semester. It'd be really fun. So I'm rooting for all of you. And let me know. I'm going to be in school tomorrow. I'm just working on curriculum today, so I'll be back in school tomorrow. If you have questions or you need something, you can always email me. You can always come and see me tomorrow. I'm hoping that that answers all of the questions that you guys might have. I'm just looking over here at the agenda and seeing if there's anything else that we need to do. So, okay, good. Well, I hope you enjoyed this instructional video made for you by Miss Anderson. Um, and okay, be good. Be nice to your chairs because they're working very hard today, and it's very intimidating to stand up in front of your peers and to try to lead them through these parliamentary procedures. And just so you know, there will be times in future where I have to be gone from class this semester, and next time it could be you that has to stand up in front of class and be the chair. So I would be nice to those chairs if I was you, so that when you're standing up in front of class, they're nice to you, right? Okay, what goes around comes around. Okay, be good. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye.